Well, hello. Happy Wednesday, folks. How you doing? Bert, welcome in, my friend. Right off the bat, you were ready to go. you were tuned in, set up, locked in. What's up, my guy? Good to see you today, Bert. How you doing, buddy? How you been? Rafi, what's up? Welcome in, dude. Good to see you. Bert, you've already been up for a little bit. Hey, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Early morning for you, but welcome in. Glad to have you. Let's get this chat going for everyone. I think it's working now. Let's do a little test here. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And YouTube? Zoomies on YouTube, my friend. Hello. Good to see you. How you doing? Good to have you. Let's go to the correct screen because, folks, today, Rafi, we just talked about it. You know what we're going to do today. Zoomies said, what's my favorite Pokemon? Zoomies, my favorite Pokemon is Wooper from, I don't know, second generation. I got a picture of him in a folder on my desktop because he's the stupidest, happiest looking Pokemon and I love him. Joshua on YouTube, my friend, day was, well, my day's just starting. So we'll see how it's going to be, but probably pretty good, I'm thinking. How about you, buddy? Rafi, you're ready for today's practice? You said you're dumb tired, been super busy these last few nights. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope you can get some rest. Have you tried just having a normal night of sleep? Just like, I don't know, trying to use it more for rest than dreaming. I don't know if that's the thing you can just go back to. Zoomies, you said Wooper's an uncommon pick, but look at him. He's adorable. Hold on, let me pull up a picture of him. This is the face that sold me on it. He's just ridiculous. Why did this happen? I clicked the wrong thing. There it is. Look at that face. I love it. This guy, there is not a single neuron firing in that head, but he is happy. And there's maybe a little bit of wisdom to be had there, huh? What's your Zoomies? I send the question back to you, my friend. Rafi, I was thinking that, man. We got to roll that 6 or 10 for you today. We'll see what the dice have in store. Hopefully we can get there, huh? Alejandro Gonzalez says, I'm new here. Hello, what's happening, everyone? Well, hello. Welcome in, my friend. we're just kicking things off here, just kind of getting a little bit of easing into it. But today we're gonna play a game that we call the Dice Decide, where we roll dice, and then based on what comes up in the roll, we do we go to my exercise library and we pull an exercise, and then we roll additional dice to modify it. It's gonna be fun. Magic, I use a website called Mighty Dice, mighty-dice.com. Very good website. Look at all the nonsense you can do with it. I love it. It's a great website. But today we're just rolling D12s. So here is our library, basically, and we have, if we scroll to the bottom, a total of 12 exercises, and we're gonna roll to see what we get, and then we're gonna just follow the instructions on them. Should be good. They're a lot of fun. Zoomies used to call Whooper Whopper. That makes sense. I call him Big Whoop. I feel like that's a fun play on the name. Zoomies, Lugia is your favorite. All right, from the same generation too. Rock on. Or Lugia? I don't know how to say it. People always said it both ways back in the day. I never got the memo on exactly how to do it. Magic, 3D math rocks go hard. 3D math rocks do go hard, especially when the website just lets you go nuts with them. Like, listen to this insanity. I love it, y'all. I love it. It's a good time. Zoomy said you love flying type Pokemon. Alright, rock on. I'm thinking about maybe doing an all flying type run through Ruby next. I'm replaying them all from my childhood right now. I'll be thinking of you if I do pull the trigger on that. Magic. 166, otherwise known as the average rogue sneak attack at level 20. Terrifying. Raffy, there was at least 1-6. Yo, if you don't know, poor Raffy has been trying to get this exercise, do the funny. He really wants to see it on stream, and we just have not rolled a 6 in all the days that we've played this game. And he really wants it, so we'll see. And of all those dice I just rolled, there was at least 1-6 in there. So, oh, you said there was only 1-6, so it's not looking good. Well, could say there was a 6 though. There was. We managed to get a 6. Joshua, your favorite Pokemon's Charizard. All right, y'all. Well, I guess we're all saying it now. So, folks, drop your favorite Pokemon. We're taking a poll right now. We got Whooper, Lugia, and Charizard. Thank you, Remagic, for the phonetic spelling there. Lugia. Yeah, people around me said Lugia more often than not, now that I think about it. Well, folks, should we just go ahead and jump on into it? Rayquaza? I always said Rayquaza. Man, this is going to be a... okay, so it is Rayquaza, actually. Okay, cool. Rock on. Good pick, Toxic. He's a legendary from, like, the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald generation, right? I'll be going into that one next. I'm excited to replay those. I'm replaying them all in the order I played them as a kid, and then probably going to do like Black and White, which I missed, and some other fun stuff. I found an emulator that plays on my phone, and it's just incredible, y'all, to have all that stuff just ready to go at any point in time. Absolutely love it. All right, well, should we start the game without further ado? Oh, Thomas, you dropped yours. You said Meow's Karada? Is that a Pokemon? No kidding. All right. Man, I never heard of that. That's obviously from a generation way after me. It's looking like a cat plant thing. I guess that the description would imply that's kind of the case. Okay. I got a lot of new Pokemon to learn about. It's from Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, I definitely didn't play that one. Well, y'all, let's go ahead and get it going here. So when we do the exercise, it'll go. Oh wait, we got more answers. Rafi said Ditto or Pachirisu. I've never heard of that one either. Okay, well that's adorable. That's adorable, Rafi. Holy crap. It's from Diamond and Pearl, another series I didn't play. How did they make a squirrel cuter? That's insane. And Remagic with Sandshrew and Sandslash, solid picks from the OG 150. Rock on. Love it. It's very hard to not play with them whenever I run into them. Toxic, I'm on gold right now. I'm on gold and I'll be moving to Ruby next. I'm replaying them in the order I played them as a kid. It's going to be fun. But today on stream, we're playing the Dice Decide, which is a fun game we invented. Thomas, you said Lucario's your number 2. I recognize the name, but I don't remember what it is. Okay. Similar theme to the other one you liked. Similar shape. And also from, what? I don't know what game it's from. Generation 4, so that's like Pearl, I think. Yeah, Salty, we got sidetracked. Salty, welcome in, buddy. We got sidetracked, and we are talking about our favorite Pokemon at the moment. I'm trying to get the game going, but people have a lot of answers there, so Salty, go ahead and get your answer in. Nah, not Smash, AJ. Pokemon. You know, we love a good Pokemon discussion on this stream. Folks, if you're new here, though, what we're doing today, aside from guessing or stating our favorite Pokemon, we are going to go to, on my website, we got this library of creative writing exercises. And in the past, I've read them out ahead of time, but I think it's more fun if we kind of just see what they are as I roll for them. So what we're going to do is we got those exercises, and we got a D12 right here. And we're going to roll it and see what exercise it tells us to do. And then each exercise has its own modifiers inside of it. So we might spin the wheel of emotion, or generate a random event, or roll more dice. And together, with all those modifiers, it'll create an exercise, and then we'll all do it. Or, you know, anybody that wants to. We'll do it in a 5-minute timer, and then we'll read them out loud. It's pretty fun. You never know what you're going to create. Rafi says the priorities of stream are correct. Salty, you said Bisharp or Aegislash. See, I don't. Man, I've been out of the game too long. Bisharp. All right, I see there's a trend in like the Pearl generation of this like humanoid, 2 bipedal, canine or feline type guy. That's like the third one that's looked like that. What was the other one? Aegislash? Holy cow. That thing is very, I don't know what the word is. Like modern art. Unfocused, impressionistic. I don't even know what it is. It looks like it's like a hieroglyphic. Hey, rock on though. I'm excited to experience those. I think they're in 2 generations away from what I'm going to play. So we'll get there. Bert, I love your answer. My favorite Pokemon is John Carpenter's The Thing. So also known as Ditto, perhaps, or just The Thing being literally any Pokemon. Salty, someone asked me what my favorite Pokemon was. That's what kicked off this whole discussion. And there is one correct answer to this question. And it is this blank expression. Look at that. Look how happy he is with absolutely not a single neuron firing in there. I'm so happy with this guy. He's incredible. Okay. Arceus, Thomas. I think I know Arceus. I think I've seen that one before. Yeah. Are they from Sword and Shield? It says it right here, and it's cut off in the description. Generation 4. I don't know what gen that is. Is that like Pearl? 3 is like Ruby Sapphire, right? So it must be like Pearl, I think. Unless I've got it mixed up. AJ, more of a Yu-Gi-Oh kid personally. Hey, that's all right, dude. I was a Magic the Gathering kid, honestly. So we're both newcomers in this world. I played a couple Pokemon games because, of course, who didn't in the '90s? But never got into it beyond that, really. Okay. Excellent Pokemon discussion. I am very enlightened with everybody's favorite Pokemon now. And, of course, I always love the opportunity to show off this adorable little thing. But we are playing a game today called The Dice Decide. So, folks, I've explained it a couple times, but if you missed those, sorry. More fun than just explaining it. Let's just play. The only way to begin is by beginning, right? So let's do it. We're going to get our first roll of the day, folks. Let me crank that volume so you can enjoy the dice sounds for you. And here we go. Let's see where we're going to start, everybody. Fingers crossed for something fun. Raffi, I know you're pulling for that 6. Y'all, what number you want to see come up? I know you might not have the exercises memorized, but give me a number. I saw Remagic said their bet's on it's going to be a 4. We're rolling a D12 here. Remagic says 4. Raffi says 6. I personally think it's going to be an 8. Sorry, Raffi. Look, my gut's telling me it's going to be an 8. So let's see what's going to happen. I'll give 15 more seconds. Take your guess for what it's going to be. 11, says Spirit Wanders. All right. Sam, you're feeling a 4 as well. All right. Well, folks. Sleepy, that's really funny. Native, you think it's going to be a 3? All right. All right, there we go. Let's see what's going to happen. Everybody. Oh, there we go. It was called. Who said it was going to be a 4? Or was it Thomas? No, it was Remagic. Remagic said it was going to be a 4, and so did Sam. Oh, y'all nailed it. Remagic, that's a fancy magic trick you did there, dude. Raffi in shambles in the corner, by the way, with it not being a 6. Sorry, Raffi. This one's for you, buddy. All right, well, let's see what we get with a 4. Raffi's actually upset, man. One of these days, Raffi, we're going to get it for you. All right, so, guys, a 4. Oh, I love this one. I love this exercise. This one is called Personified Places. The purpose is to make your settings memorable. And we're going to roll a d12 to choose one of the following settings. So we rolled our first d12, gave us this exercise. Now we roll it again to choose between one of these settings. Room, house, town, forest, pond, creek, thicket, vehicle, road, garden, tree, mountain. So we're going to roll to see which one of those we're going to get. And then after that, we're going to spin the wheel of emotion and see what emotion we get. And then in 5 minutes, we will describe the chosen setting such that the chosen emotion becomes its dominant characteristic. I love doing this exercise because it teaches you how to make your settings more than a setting. And once you understand how to do that, your settings can help affect the tone of the story as well as the emotional arc of it. But we'll see it now. We'll see it live. So first, we got to roll another d12. So let's get a fresh d12 up in here. Y'all, do we want to change the color of the dice at all? I kind of change them based on stream. There's a whole bunch of skins we can pick between. I tend to get something flashy, but this one's pretty cool. A little less reflective. Little less dramatic perhaps, but I don't know. Kind of matches my shirt, my vibe with the whole orange thing going on. Could be pretty good. Raffi says if you roll a 6 for this, I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah, Aaron, there is a die called Goblin Snot. It looks horrible on stream, in my opinion. But if chat wants it, we can roll Goblin Snot. Yeah, Bert. So if you want a copy of the exercise library, Go to my website, authoralexknight.com/dice. I just dropped it in chat there. That'll take you to the webpage I'm on here. It's also in the resources in Discord. If you go to the writing resources, I have it linked up there. All right, so Remagic's is going to be a 9. Hey, Remagic called it like 15 minutes before I rolled the dice last time. So nice, Remagic. You nailed it, man. So Remagic's has a 9. Thomas has a 6. Folks, let's see what we're going to get. King Chuck, welcome back on YouTube, my friend. You're just in time for our second dice roll of the day, so welcome in. Let's see what it's going to be. Okay. Remagic, we got to talk, my guy. We got to talk. You just called both dice rolls. Are you secretly the developer of this website? And you're... All right, so Remagic, if you're able to control these dice, you now have the power to give Raffi the 6 they've been looking for weeks now, weeks and weeks. So that's within your control. So I'll let you and Raffi sort that out between each other. All right, but we rolled a 9. So that means in our exercise, in the first one, we rolled a 4, which gave us this exercise. And now the first step of it is to roll a d12 to choose one of the following settings. We rolled a 9. So that means the setting is going to be road. Interesting. All right, that's a fun one. We can take that a lot of places. You know what? I'm unprepared today, folks. Let me pull up my exercise document. There we go. All right, and I want to copy in what we're going to do. So, exercise, the answer is road. Oh, and you know what? I normally make this really big so y'all can read it. So let me get my font size up here. I can do like, what, 18-ish? Because we're going to write this live after we get it. So, personified places is the exercise, and the setting is road. And now let's see what the next step is. I think we got one step left to build our exercise. There it is. John Phillips, welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. King Chuck, the website is Mighty Dice. MightyDice.com. I just put it in chat there. I'll put it here. It's MightyDice.com. Mighty-Dice, I should say. John, we are playing a game of my own devising called the Dice Decide, where we roll dice to see what we're going to write in a 5-minute sprint, and we build kind of a prompt. And so far, we've rolled number 4, which means exercise is personified places. We're going to create a place that has a certain feeling to it, a setting, and then we just rolled for what that setting will be, and we got a 9, so it's going to be road. And now the last step is we're going to spin the wheel of emotion. And we're going to see what emotion we get. Another website that I love. So, folks, let's see what emotion we're going to describe the road with. Okay, that's interesting. Exhausted. Exhausted. Let's get that written down. I have too many windows open. I keep clicking the wrong ones. There we go. So, road and exhausted. So there we go. There's our three, aspects of the prompt. So now, the last step. In 5 minutes, describe the chosen setting such that the chosen emotion becomes its dominant characteristic. So let's copy that. We're going to throw that in here. And that's going to be our exercise, y'all. So let's pull the timer up. If you want to write along, you want to take your own take on this, please, by all means, do. Last time we played this game, folks shared it in Discord if they wanted me to read it on stream, and you watched me write mine, and then I read it aloud, and then I read anybody else that submitted it. So if you want to participate and you want me to read it, you can do so by posting it in Discord, and I'll give you a link for that right now. This is our Discord. Dropped it in both chats. Well, I tried to drop it in YouTube chat. I messed it up. There we go. You can also pull it from my bio. It's in there. But if you want me to read your exercise after you do it, just drop it in the writing share channel in Discord and let me know. Sleepy, you said you need an update on the Thief of Honor release. Since we're going to talk about it, let's pull the cover up. There it is. Y'all, if you don't know, Thief of Honor is a novella that I wrote live on stream. The editor is, it's just about done, I believe. I'm not sure when I'm going to release it. Pretty much as soon as it's ready. It just kind of got put on hold while I was launching Servant of Rage, or Wriggly Little Hands most recently. But this thing's pretty much ready. So I'd say a release pretty darn soon. I know I've been saying soon.tm on a while now, but just had to put it to the side while we were working on the Wriggly Little Hands launch, which went really well. So thank you to everybody that helped with that. And thank you for your patience with Thief of Honor. It has not been forgotten, I promise you. I'm very excited to get it out there. Alright, so this is our first exercise of the day, guys. Let me pull it up on my other monitor so I can write without looking off to the side. And we will do our first exercise. If you want, like I said, if you want to write along with me, no pressure, but you're welcome to. And you can submit it in Discord, and I'll read it afterward, if that's what you want. So, I'm going to start that timer, and we are going to write in 5 minutes. We're going to describe the chosen setting such that its chosen emotion becomes its dominant characteristic. Setting is road, emotion is exhausted. And the timer... which timer is this one? There we go. Okay, cool. Timer is timing. Other name, what's up, buddy? Welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you got a good Wednesday going here. Let's get some writing done. And I'm going to try to keep this on screen for you. If my writing goes off screen, let me know. Not feeling it yet, y'all. It's the first exercise of the day. It always takes a minute to kind of get the brain going here. They do go well together, though, Sleepy. I agree. Huh. Always got to check capital with an O or with an A. I need it with an A. I can never remember that. My brain ain't there today. All right, let's focus in. We're gonna get this. A minute left. I'm not doing great on this, folks. Brain's not winding up. We'll get there. We'll get there. Words just ain't there. I think we're out of time, but I'm going to keep running for another minute here because we don't have a completed exercise yet. I really dislike the word spinning here, but we're going to roll with it because I gotta get going. All right. Yeah. This one, I'll call it there for mine. If you were writing along, by all means, feel free to finish it up. I did not nail this one, y'all. You can really feel the brain. The gears just ain't spinning yet. But I think we were getting there towards the end. I was feeling it, feeling the creative juices sort of wake up a little bit. Thomas, you're gonna post yours in Discord. Rock on, man. Let me get my Discord up here. Yeah, post it in the writing share channel, and I'll read it out, folks. If you are playing along, if you want to play along, let me grab you the Discord link. You can post in the writing share channel of our Discord, and if you let me know that you're okay with it, I will read out your exercise. Not Chase Garrett, welcome in. He said that was a nightmare sandwich. If y'all don't know, we sponsored a video of Roll for Sandwich recently. My most recent TikTok videos about it. Go check it out. It's hilarious. It was a nightmare sandwich, as Chase Garrett has said. Welcome in, Chase. Good to see you, buddy. We just did our first exercise of the Dice Decide today, and I am now going to read it to y'all. I'm not proud of it. I don't think I did a good job on it, but you know what? That's why we practice, right? That's actually how this exercise library came to be, folks. These are all writing exercises that I developed to practice writing outside of like deadline pushes and stuff. So this exercise, we in 5 minutes describe the chosen setting such that the chosen emotion becomes its dominant characteristic. We rolled dice, and the setting we got was road, and we spun the wheel of emotion, and the characteristic we got was exhausted. So here's what I did with that. And like I said, disclaimer, this is my first one of the day, so the brain ain't going yet. I'm not too proud of it, but I will read it to you all the same. In the capital, the roads were straight as a blade's edge and twice as neat. Planned and prepared, they followed a stringent grid that had been plotted on countless maps, then discussed in committee, then replotted on more maps, then discussed a second time, then finally voted on before being plotted a third time, and then, if the next vote was finally passed, built. This was not a capital road. It was so rutted it might not have been a road at all, but some sort of wash where excess rain ran down from the hills. Traveling along it, the wagon jolted and shuddered, climbing up slowly, painfully slowly, over the next rutted rise, then falling off the far end to slam down into the dirt with a jolt that rocked up my spine. The impact left my head spinning, vision shaking, and no doubt did untold damage. I don't like the word echo on back. I'm just seeing that as I go through. Oh, is there not? Oh, no, I used spine. Okay, I avoided the word echo. I thought there was word echo. Let me start from the beginning of the sentence. Traveling along it, the wagon jolted and shuddered, climbing up slowly, painfully slowly, over the next rutted rise, then falling off the far end to slam down into the dirt with a jolt that rocked up my spine. The impact left my head spinning, vision shaking, and no doubt did untold damage to my back that I'd feel in the quiet hours of the night years from now. And then, before I could adjust to all that, could catch up to the calamitous sensations, the wagon was climbing slowly, painfully slowly over the next rutted rise again. It left me wincing in anticipation of the next drop, the next jolt up my back, on, mile after mile, for days on end. This was not a capital road. It was something older, something wilder, something tired by the very fact of its existence. So, like I said, I'm okay with it. It's the first one of the day. Not my best writing. We'll get there. We'll get there. I think the next one will be a lot better. Raffi, you said yours got sad. Sleepy, you tried writing yours and ended up scribing a spell. Spirit, you said I can read yours. You're not an experienced writer, but you're trying. Spirit, rock on. I'm proud of you. You don't have to be an experienced writer. All you got to do is try. I'm proud of you. Six Skeetons? I'm not sure how to say that name. Welcome in. We are playing a game called The Dice Decide, where we roll dice to see which of these creative writing exercises we're going to do, and then we roll additional dice for modifiers, and then we write it in 5 minutes, and I read mine to y'all. You actually watch me write it in this game, where there's no spoilers, right? So we just write it on screen, and then I read it to you. And if anybody wants to participate, they are welcome to send it in Discord, and I'll read it there as well. And we all just kind of do a little bit of creative writing practice together. So I think there's a couple in Discord waiting for me, so let's go check those out. Yeah, okay, we got several here. Folks, thanks for shout out to Spirit Wanders and Thomas Carver and Raffi for sharing them in Discord. I will now read them. Here is... Oh, and Sam Shell sent one in too. Sam, I don't see yours. Oh, okay, you put it in general chat. Gotcha. Drop it in the writing share channel in future, but I can totally read this one too. So we'll start with the short one. Sam said, my 2 lines of the writing exercise. Oh, you're good, Sam. Don't worry about it. So as a reminder, folks, the exercise we were writing to is in 5 minutes, describe a road such that exhausted becomes its dominant characteristic. Sam put, the road was worn, laden with tattered stones, weary and crumbling under many years of sure footfalls. The traveler minded each step. The grit ground his journey in with the others. I like it. Hey, it's a good start. I feel the tiredness of it. I like that we all kind of, so far, have focused in on the exhausted aspect through being tired from traveling, right? Thank you for sharing it, Sam. It is hard to write under the time limit. It really is. All right, here's Spirit Wanders. Thank you for writing and sharing, and for being brave enough to let me read it on stream. Spirit Wanders wrote, "Tire tracks are engraved into my tar like tired wrinkles. Sun has just peeked over the horizon, and already there is an engine roaring in the distance. Another day, another truck, another burden to bear. As the years wear on, vehicles get larger and heavier alongside human consumption and greed. And yet funding for infrastructure and road care dwindles in the opposite direction. How many more cracks in my skeleton can I withstand before I can no longer carry their loads, support their rush journeys, withstand their storms?" Hey, rock on. Very nice, Spirit. I like it. You wrote it from the road's perspective. Nothing wrong with that. A different take. I dig it. Bonus points for working the word infrastructure in there. I'm always a fan of that word. Its spelling fascinates me. Infrastructure. Thank you for letting me share. Thomas Carver, author. Here's yours. All right, here we go. Here's from Thomas Carver. Thank you for submitting. "The wind was howling, slicing through my bones. I was finally free from the torment of the family, and I prayed all that magical nonsense was finally behind me. As I walked down the eerily empty road, a voice echoed through the air that sent a shiver down my spine. I paused and looked around to see if I was being followed by someone from the family. There was no one in sight, and so I continued with another step. Ugh, will you please step off?" the voice moaned. I took another pause, and I glanced down at the road with its faded yellow dashes and visible cracks from years of either rain or snow. Surely the voice wasn't coming from the road, was it? "Yes, you. Would you please get off me?" groaned the voice. In shock, I leapt up and almost flew to the dirt side of the road. "Are you talking to me?" I asked, staring down at the dirty old road. Well, I sure wasn't talking... Sorry, I read that in the wrong intonation. "Well, I sure wasn't talking to anyone else walking on me," the road responded in a very tired voice. "This must be the work of the family. I mean, how else would a road be talking to me right now?" And it sounded as if I was walking on it, wearing it out. Another literal interpretation. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate you writing it and sharing it. Another literal personification of the road being tired. An interesting direction. I didn't expect folks to take it that way. Rock on, dude. Rock on. All right, and our last one submitted. Thank you, Raffi, for writing as well. So let's read Raffi's, and then we can go ahead and roll some more dice, folks, and get a new exercise. Raffi wrote, "The Road." They even titled it. "I always got a weird feeling walking down Havert Street, a small back road between two others. It seemed as deserted as it was dilapidated. The edges of the gray pavement littered the grass beside it with millions of bits of crumbled stone. As I walked, you could see dust from the brittle rocks beneath kick out behind you like a cartoon character. The road looked like it hadn't seen a car in years, and when it did, the cars must have all been tanks and trucks. You could still make out the paths they took. But it's only ever been me since I started coming this way. It's a nice quiet road to Grandma's plot. That explains the new path in the pavement. Didn't realize I've been here so much." Rock on. Thank you very much, Raffi. Appreciate you submitting that as well. Y'all, that's fun. Thank you for writing along with me. Thanks for playing the game. I liked your submissions. I liked your more... It's interesting that people took it a little more literally. Nothing wrong with that. Not the direction I went, but then again, I wasn't particularly happy with the direction that I went. No, Raffi, you didn't do the literal personification. Yeah, Hero, welcome in. Hero of Death on YouTube, good to see you. So we got a couple new folks here, so let's explain the game real quick. Guys, what we have is a library of 12 different creative writing exercises that I made to make myself a better writer. What we're doing is we're going to a dice roller. We're rolling to see what we get on a D12. That'll tell us what exercise we're going to do. And then each exercise has additional modifiers on it. And so sometimes we might have to roll the dice again. Sometimes we got to spin the wheel of emotion, see what it gives us, etc., etc. There's a bunch of different modifiers. And in the end, what you get is a little creative writing exercise. So the first one we got today was called Personified Places. And in 5 minutes, we had to describe a road such that the chosen emotion, exhausted, becomes its dominant characteristic. And so we wrote it live on stream, and we read it, And anybody else who wanted to participate submitted it in Discord, and we read it there as well. So that's the explanation, but you know what? We're just about ready to play it again, so if you want to join in, by all means, you can either watch it from the get-go, or you can join in and write if you want. And if you do participate and you want me to read it, go ahead and share it in this Discord. I'll drop the link in the writing share channel, and let me know, and I'll read it on stream. Simple enough, but let's go through it. Folks, we took a little bit of a gamble last time, a little bit of a bet to see what the die was going to come up with. Remagic in chat has called it both times. Called both rolls today exactly correct. They are 2 for 2. A little bit creepy, Remagic. And your newest prophecy is in. You said, my foresight fades. I see either a 5 or an 8, but the gift is now lost to me. Sorrow. I love it. All right, a 5 or an 8 is what Remagic says. Raffi, always going for that 6. If you don't know, number 6 is a comedy-based one, and Raffi's been wanting that for weeks now. We just haven't rolled a 6. So we're going to see. Maybe we get the 6 this time, Raffi. I'm pulling for you. Thomas, you say it's going to be an 11, and Spirit, you think it's going to be a 1. Anybody else, if you have a last-minute prediction of what we're going to get, let me know. Sam's going with the 6 for Raffi. All right, let's see. Got to shake it up all nice and good, and 12. Ooh, no one called it. Triggered, you got your bet in right there at the end, but just a 12. No one called it, I don't think, right? Thomas, you were the closest with an 11. So let's see what exercise 12 is. It's been a hot minute since I played this game with you all, so I don't remember either. 12 is veiled language. Oh, this is a tough one, y'all. All right, the purpose is to practice saying things without actually saying them. This is super useful in dialogue. So in 5 minutes, we're going to write a scene wherein a character relays the chosen message to another without saying it. Basically, it's a dialogue exercise, but you need to convey a message without outright saying it. So first, we need to roll a d4 and choose one of the following: threat, compliment, insult, or assurance. That will be what the person is conveying. So let's grab a d4, and we're going to see which of those we get. And I'm going to go ahead and build this into my exercise document. And this one is called veiled language. All right, next roll. Any guesses? Joshua, welcome back. We're in the midst of the game here. Glad to have you. We're going to roll our d4. Oh, Remagic with the prediction at the last minute nails it. You are 3 for 4. That's honestly insane. Absolutely insane. Well done. Still creepy. Legitimately creepy. That's Remagic. No one has called it like that in the past. That's nuts, dude. All right, so we got a 3. So that means insult. Oh boy, this is gonna get nuts. This is gonna get a little crazy. Insult. So we are gonna do in 5 minutes. We are gonna write a scene wherein one character insults the other without actually saying it. So they might be talking about whatever. Just a typical conversation, but there needs to be a subtle insult delivered without actually, saying what the insult is. Maybe implication, maybe a backhanded compliment, something like that. So let's see, guys. Let's see how it goes. I'll put our timer back up. Make sure it's nice and refreshed. Sam, I did create these prompts for myself originally as creative writing practice. But it turns out they work pretty well for this. If you want the prompts yourself, just go to, if I could type, authoralexknight.com/dice. They're all hosted there. Raffi, I'm gonna hate yours. I will disclaimer, y'all. You are more than welcome to write along and do write your own exercise as well, I'll be writing it here. Well, here, so you can watch me write it real time. But if you want to write your own and you want to share it in the Discord, just let me know, and I will read yours as well. If you don't have the Discord link, let's see. Can I copy this? There we go. I will copy it and I will put it in chat. So there we go. Oh, that link was weird. Hold on. Let's get the original link. There you go. If you want to drop it in the writing share channel of Discord, I will read it. Also, thank you very much for the gifts. Zishima? No, Zishma. There we go. Zishma. Man, that's a tongue twister for me. Thank you for the Tiny Diny. For the second Tiny Diny, the 9 white doves, and the You're Awesome. You're awesome, my friend. I appreciate that. And while I'm up here, thank you, Aaron and Simp1X, for re-upping the stream team. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. All right, folks, I guess we need to do this exercise, huh? We'll put 5 minutes on the clock right there, and we're going to do this. Let me grab my document, move chat out of the way, and let's start thinking about what we're going to write here. My brain, my creative juices weren't flowing for the first one, so I'm hoping they're going to be on. They're going to be firing for this one. Got to come up with a veiled insult. All right, well, better to do it than to live in the fear of it. The timer is going. Let's see. Folks, if you're writing along with me, if you're doing the exercise, good luck. Let's see what we get. Primarily a dialogue exercise. At least that's how I take it. You can do it however you want, however makes sense to you. Let's make sure I keep it on screen. Sorry, make sure we keep that in there. Let's get a time check, too, because I'm deep in the think tank here. Minute 41 left. Impage, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. All right, I think that's probably time. Yep, there we go. There we go. All right, I'm happier with this one. I'm overly critical of myself, but I'm pretty happy with this one. I'll be excited to read it to y'all. Raffi, you think you did it? You wrote along as well? Rock on, man. Hey, drop it in Discord. If you did participate along, please drop it in Discord. If you want me to read it on stream, I don't have to. But if you want to share, please go for it. As a reminder, everybody, this exercise was called Veiled Language, and in 5 minutes we were writing a scene wherein a character relays the chosen message to another without actually saying it. We rolled the dice, and the message we got was insult. I think I didn't quite land on insult with mine. It kind of strayed a little bit, but I think it's a good example of veiled language, at least. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and read what I wrote. I mean, if you watched along, you saw me write it, so you might know what I'm going to read. But I'll read it anyway. And if you wrote anything that you want me to read, drop it in the writing share channel of Discord, and I will read it. But first, let's start with mine. Also, as a weird side note, did anybody else get this? This name, Henrik, just a random character name I pulled for this. For whatever reason, that name is always in my head. Like, I've used it in books in the past. But like, if I'm going to go to like generic fantasy world, that is the #1 name that comes to my head. I don't know where it came from. I don't know I don't know anything about it. It's just like, if I need a fantasy name, Henrik pops in every time. Don't know why. So anyway, that's why the character's named Henrik. Cloudy today, Henrik remarked. I followed his eyes, looking up to the sky, except blue skies. One could even say cloudless, if they weren't counting that singular white puff clinging to the distant mountaintops. As I pulled my gaze back down, I found he wasn't looking at the sky, but me. Cloudy? I asked, feeling one eyebrow creep up. Cloudy. Yeah. He said it more as a grunt, and with a pointed huff on the end of the word. I glanced back to the sky. His eyes never left me. Cloudy, I asked once more. More and more these days. Why was he staring at me the whole time? He'd always been a little, well, off, to put things politely. Mother said he'd been insightful as a boy, but what did she know? She was all bluster anymore and criticism. Nothing I did was ever good enough. Somehow, even shoveling out the stables was a job I could do wrong, according to her. God's above, but it boiled my blood. It'd been a beautiful morning, too, until she'd come stomping in, complaining and nitpicking. Cloudy, Henrik said again, pulling me from my thoughts. His eyes were still fixed on me, with a chance of storms, too, if we're not careful. So there we go. There is my submission for veiled language. Like I said, I don't think I quite got to insult, but I think we achieved the idea of delivering a message without actually saying it. Kind of talking around a point, you could say. Again, not the best example, but I think it gets the point across. Rafi, you said yours is definitely veiled. Did you drop it in Discord? Drop it in the writing if you want. If you don't want to, no worries. Remagic, you said Henrik is a good name on the tongue. Maybe that's why maybe it pops into my head a lot. Impage, you said the one that for you is Eriker. Eriker, interesting. I've not heard that one before. Apparently we're just taking random regular names and modifying them, huh? Henry, Eric, just make him give a little fantasy twist on the end of it. All right, Rafi, you posted yours. Well, cool. Let's go ahead and read it. Thank you for sharing it and being willing to let me read it. The Sandwich. I like the titles. Oh, okay. So I see from what I'm reading already, you are writing this from the world of Wriggly Little Hands, it would seem, Rafi. All right, let's go for it. Rafi wrote The Sandwich as this prompt. Ollie needs sandwich, Ollie exclaimed in the middle of a spirited game of Flaggle. Imagine Boggle and Dice, but with beetles. Lynn, too, stood up and followed Ollie without a question as Ollie walked to the tiny kitchen and pulled out a knife to cut the bread. Hey, Ollie yipped as Lynn, too, grabbed the knife without a word and proceeded to cut the bread. Then the Gooflebob loaf. Gooflebob, try to say that right. I'm sorry, Lynn, too, but Ollie wants sandwich. Ollie make you sandwich, too? Ollie tried walking up to the counter, but Lynn, too, stuck his leg out behind him, blocking the way. Can Ollie use knife after? Ollie asked sheepishly. Just then, Lynn, too, turned around with a fresh, well, to them it was fresh, sandwich, complete with boogoo sauce. Thank Lynn, too. All he could have done. Lynn pursed his lips and rolled his eyes before returning to the game, making sure to bring the knife with him. I see what you're doing there, Rafi. Y'all, if none of that made sense to you, that's because Rafi was writing in the world of one of my books, Wriggly Little Hands, which is a story of fantasy comedy about goblins on a road trip. I get the veiled language aspect there, Rafi. I see what you were going for. Thank you for submitting, though. Always fun. Always fun. I appreciate you taking a shot. I've lost my scene that I was trying to get. Where is it? There it is. There we go. And Matt said, well, hello, Babish's long-lost brother. I'm assuming, I think I've looked this up in the past, Babish is like a streamer or somebody that I look like. Yeah, there we go. Well, hello, Matt. At least you didn't say Andrew Tate. I've gotten that one before, and that one I'm less happy about. So Babish, we take Babish. I'll rock with that. How you doing, Matt? Happy Wednesday to you, buddy. Thanks for jumping in. Binging with Babish, yeah, of course. Okay, I know the name of the, that more than I know Babish standalone, but I've never watched or listened to either. I don't even know. Is it a show or a podcast? I feel like it's a podcast, but clearly I don't know. It looks like it's a YouTube show, maybe. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. For cooking. Interesting. Binging puts me in the mind of like TV show, watching or reviewing. But like I said, clearly never seen it. I just gotta get the beard a bit longer, it looks like. But anyway, welcome in, Matt. Jordan, hello. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Oh, Impage, you said like binge eating. Gotcha, gotcha. That makes a bit more sense. Well, folks, if you're just joining us, we are playing a game today called the Dice Decide. And what we do is we roll dice. They tell us a number. The beautiful, beautiful 3D math rocks tell us a number. Oh, Raffi, that's cruel. Y'all, to catch you up to date on the lore of the show, there's 12 exercises in this document, and Raffi, since day one, has wanted to get exercise 6, and we've never rolled an exercise 6. And in my little demonstration roll there, for the first time, we come up with a 6. Yeah, Sam, it wasn't a real roll, though. I was just doing it to show people, like, you know, the dice mechanic. Nah, guys, don't get excited. It wasn't a legit roll. I was just throwing the dice. I'm so sorry, Raffi. Look, it would be unsatisfying at this point if the first time we got a 6, we like manufactured it, right? Like, we gotta legitimately roll a 6. We gotta earn that 6 for Raffi. But hey, we'll do another one here. How do I unlike the live? Incredible. Look, we'll do another. I just need everybody on the next roll. We're going to do a real one. Cross your fingers. Pull for the 6. Manifest it in your mind. We're going to make the 6 happen. It's going to happen. But let me just give one quick overview. Raffi, I can't read that on chat. Probably that's really funny. Or I can't read that on stream. Let me give one more overview, and then we'll play one more time for today. So, folks, if you're just joining us, hello. I am author Alex Knight. These are my books. I've been writing full-time since 2018, and the top row of these books is fantasy. The bottom row is lit RPG. Whatever you're into, hey, give them a look. Maybe they'll jump out at you. But this is my live stream. We're here every weekday at 7 a.m. Central Time. It typically looks something like this, but today we are playing a game called the Dice Decide. How this works? Welcome in, Ken. Good to see you, buddy. Hope your Wednesday's going good. Off to a good start. The way this game works is we're going to roll this D12. Whatever number it gives us will correspond with a writing prompt in this exercise library that I created to practice writing. And then each prompt has its own additional modifiers. We'll either roll more dice, or we'll generate maybe a random event, or maybe we'll spin the wheel of emotion. And then with all those factors put together, we will have some sort of exercise. For example, the last one we did, in 5 minutes, we had to write a scene where a character insults another without actually saying it. So we'll see what we get this time. We're going to do a new exercise. So let's get back to our dice. Y'all, let me know what number you want to see come up on these dice. We've had Remagic in chat has called 3 out of 4 rolls today, which is absolutely insane to me. So hey, put your bet in now. What do you think's going to come up? Your prediction. What's the number going to be? Raffi, we're going to get you that 6 maybe. Remagic's calling it. The prophet has spoken. A 6, they say it will be. Y'all, let me know. I'm going to see. What do I think it's going to be? I'm still feeling an 8. I called it earlier and we didn't get it, but I think it's going to be an 8. Remagic, you think it's going to be a 6? Sam, manifesting a 6. Impage says it's going to be a 4. All right, y'all. I'll give you 15 more seconds to put your predictions in, and then we'll see what we get. We really need the 6. We really need that 6 for Raffi. The irony is 6 is one of the most fun exercises, but it's also one of the hardest. It's hard to be funny on demand, right? But we'll see. All right, it's time to roll. Slowly get a 6 chant going. 6, 6, 6, 6. All right, y'all. Here we go. Gotta shake the dice up nice and good, and 12. Sorry, Raffi. No 6. Not my 8 either. And Remagic, your gift of prophecy might be slipping a little bit. 3 for 5. Still pretty darn good. All right, so we got a 12 last time. You're right, Raffi. Okay, so I think we're gonna knock 12 out. We're gonna have to re-roll this because because we already did exercise 12 today, and I don't want to do a repeat. So hold on. We got to do a re-roll. Still fun to do the same exercise twice in the same day. So 12, you're out. We're re-rolling. Grandmaster Sam, you say it's going to be a 6. We got a lot of people betting on that 6. I probably shouldn't say betting. I think TikTok wouldn't like that. A lot of people are predicting the 6. So let's see. One more time. Shake them up nice and good. And what do we got? 7. 7. It's a new one. Doshu, you thought 3? Not quite. Rafi, it's 1 higher than you wanted. I'm sorry for the 6 crew. No 6. Yeah, it teased the actual... Actually, it's a 9 over there that it was teasing. But we got the 7. So, Rafi, you yelled. I'm glad you get so into it. We're going to get you that 6, buddy. But right now it's a 7, so let's see what we got. Exercise 7. Maybe I shouldn't call them exercises. It makes it sound like work. It's supposed to be fun. Number 7, perfecting prose. Purpose of this is to practice writing seamless prose for when an event can be told instead of shown. This is important because we always hear the show don't tell idea in writing, but there are times when you should tell. And so this exercise, contrarily, is practicing telling, not showing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this website and we're going to generate a random fake historical event. Oh, and Rafi asks if we can redefine prose. Yeah, Rafi, prose in this definition, this what we're doing right now, prose is basically any writing that is not dialogue or monologue, action. Prose is the general writing, the general text of the story. I'm sure there's a better definition. That's not the one I wanted. I'm sure there's a technical definition that's better than that. I think this is the key point here. Without metrical structure, it's basically the everything else writing. It's not dialogue. It's not action. It's the filler writing that gets you from point A to point B. So we are going to generate a fake historical event on this website. Let's see what event we get. All right. Industrial Revolution. Discrimination based on race is made legal and social misconduct of a politician is exposed. The ruling class never recovers from this. Well, that is a minefield of a fake event. I'm not sure I want to do that. I don't want to write about discrimination based on race is made legal. I think that's just like a straight up reroll just for the sake of not attracting the ire of TikTok. I typically wouldn't reroll, but we're going to redo that one. Yeah. 1910s. The country quits a union or federation and colonizes an uninhabited area. Single parents unexpectedly suffer because of this. Okay, we can work with this. We can work with this. You don't have to pick all of it. We're just going to pick... You can just pick any piece of this because there's like 3 things in here. So keep that in mind. So now we're going to roll a d4 to choose one of the following. First person, second person, third person, or narrator's point of view. This will control how we write it. So let's grab that d4. And let's see, guys. What are we going to get here? 2. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's tough, y'all. That's the world we did not want. Oof. So that's going to be second person POV. Yeah, Spirit, I will build this. I'll build the prompt in our document here so we can just see it nice and easy. So this is what it's going to be. That's our guide light, and we're going to put the fake historical event in here. So this website generates several events, and we can pick any part of it, essentially. So what we're going to do is in 5 minutes, write a paragraph of prose that explains the event or a moment from the event in the chosen point of view. The point of view we rolled was second person POV. I see some questions about how to write that, so we'll talk about that real quick. And then the event is this, so you can pull any part of this. It says 1910s, the country quits a union or federation, and the country colonizes an uninhabited area. Single parents unexpectedly suffer from this. There's kind of 3 pieces there, right? Quits union or federation, colonizes an uninhabited area, single parents suffer. Pick any one of those 3, or all of them if you want. But we got to talk real quick about how to write second-person POV. Second-person POV is a nasty one. I'm not a fan of it. Some folks swear by it. Before I give you my internal definition, let's get the official one. It's a second-person narrative is a story in which writers express the main character's actions and thoughts using the personal pronoun you to address the reader. In other words, the way that works is if you let's use my other exercise. In the exercise we did most recently, we said things like I glanced back to the sky, right? I did this. I did that. For second person, you say you did that. You did this. So instead of saying I glanced back to the sky, it'll say your eyes glanced back to the sky, or your eyes glanced back to the sky. The tense doesn't matter. It's just perspective. I knew it was mean when I put this one in here, but I think it's a good idea. Yeah. Oh wow, Impage, that is the best way to say it. Writing for D&D. Wow, Impage, that's brilliant. Actually, y'all think of it as you're a DM describing what a player does, right? Player just got their role and you have to describe something, so you're going to say you walk into the room, you see this, you do that. That's second person POV. Impage, what a brilliant way to say that. I'm going to use that from now on. It's like writing for D&D. Rafi says, does saying you know count as second person POV? I don't think so. You could, if you were saying you know that you have been here before, that would count. But if you're just saying as a part of dialogue, then no, it's just like a statement essentially, Oh, well, like I did there. I did not mean to do that. All right, so let's get. This is going to be a difficult one. This is going to be tough, but these exercises are meant to make you a better writer, right? So we gotta go for it. In 5 minutes, write a paragraph of prose that explains the event or a moment from the event in the chosen point of view. So in 5 minutes, write a paragraph in second person POV that explains this event or a moment from it. So just pick a moment from it, and we're going to write about it in second person POV. It's a tough one, y'all. We are ending on a very tough one today. Let's see. I'm nervous about it. This is going to be tough. I've not written in second person POV in a long time. But let's get it going. Hey, if you're going to write along with me, good luck. Share it in Discord if you want me to read it afterward. But no pressure, And I'm going to write it live. Geneva. Sorry, it's deep in the stream. Geneva Agnos, hello, welcome in. You said looking forward to seeing you at LitRPGCon. Oh, that's awesome. You're going to be there. Rock on. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you as well. It's going to be a good event, right? I need to make a promo for it, y'all, because I'll be at LitRPGCon this July. And if y'all are in the Denver area, come on out and meet me there. I'll make a scene for it, because I normally have a scene like this one. Here's a book fair I'm going to be at in Houston on August 9th. We'll talk about that as we get a bit closer to it. I need to make a scene like that for LitRPGCon, so we'll do that. Grandmaster Sam, you said, do you stream at set times? I stream every weekday at 7 a.m. Central Time. And this is just one of the things we do on stream. We have a variety of things. On Fridays, for instance, we make fantasy maps live on stream. So come on in on Fridays to make sure you get to see the fantasy map making. Always fun. Other days, I just write, whatever book I'm working on stream. It might look more like this. And I just write on stream and encourage y'all to write along with me with some little writing sprints. So yeah, it's a good time. We're always doing something writing, creativity, fantasy focused, etc., etc. Geo, good morning, my friend. Welcome in. Glad to see you. I loved the art you posted yesterday, dude. It looked sick. Y'all, if you don't know Geo, he's an incredible artist. Definitely check out his stuff. Geneva, thank you for popping by. Glad to see you. I'm excited to meet you at LitRPGCon. It'll be a good time. Saint Musashi. It's a fun name. Welcome in, my friend. You said, how long have you been an author? I have been an author since 2018. And if we're diving into it, these are my book ones at least. Top row's fantasy, bottom row's lit RPG. You can find them all on Amazon as ebook, paperback, audiobook. If you got any questions about them, feel free to ask. Always happy to talk about them. But yeah, thanks for asking. I've been writing full time since 2018, and I'm honored to get to do the job every day. And today, the job includes doing creative writing exercises on stream. So folks, if you want to join in, this is the last one we're going to do today. We rolled dice to get an exercise, and then we generated a fake historical event, and we have built this exercise. So in 5 minutes, it's a tough one, y'all. It is a tough one. In 5 minutes, we are writing a paragraph of prose that explains the historical event or a moment from the event in the second person point of view. Brutal to roll second person on that. I had to make, on this exercise, second person. If you roll a 2, you get second person POV. I really should have made it a nat 1 though, because it's kind of the worst roll in here. Second person is an unloved POV. So here's our event. You can pick any part of that, and you just got to write about it in second person POV. And remember, the purpose of this is to tell, not show. There's a lot of advice that'll tell you to show, don't tell in your writing. The reality is sometimes you show, sometimes you tell, and I feel like tell doesn't get enough respect. Tell can be good as well, so we're going to do this exercise focusing on tell. It's a brutal one to end on, but we got 5 minutes on screen. Let's start that timer, and I'm going to write it. You can watch me create it, and if you want to write your own and share it in Discord, I will read it when the exercise is over. So without further ado, the timer's timing, and I'm going to start writing. Got to think about it, though. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with this part. Colonizes an uninhabited area. I just like that as a general theme. I think in a 5-minute exercise, it's hard to cover something like the country quits a union. But I don't know. You guys have done it before when you've written along with me, so we'll see. Second person POV, though. That's brutal. I never write in that. But hey, it's practice, right? You got to practice things you don't do. So I'm in the flow of the writing with this one, which thank you for the follow, by the way, Saint Musashi. Appreciate that. I'm going to pause the timer just real quick because I want to talk craft for a moment. I'm I am in the creative flow of this exercise, right? Like I'm feeling the writing coming, but I want to make sure, because it's not just about writing for the duration, it's about doing the exercise. I think we got the second person POV down. We're getting the you examples in there, the perspective. But the purpose of this is to explain an event, and it's about telling, not showing. So I want to make sure that I'm telling more than I'm showing, because my instinct is to show. That's typically what you want to do in writing, but telling is an important piece of that. So I just wanted to take a moment and point out, like, I was in the creative flow of it, which is good. I was not following the trend of the purpose of the prompt particularly well, so I want to make sure I refocus and get to the telling part. So I'm going to try to do that now. Wanted to call that out real quick. And Musashi, you said watching you write is so relaxing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, we're here. We're here every weekday, 7 a.m. Central Time, doing something creative, writing focused. It's a good time. Glad to have you with us. Let's finish out the last 2 minutes of this prompt and see if we can't make something we're proud of. All right, there we go. Time is up on the prompt. Folks, if you were writing along with me, by all means, if you want to share it, post it in the Discord. We'll drop that link one more time. Post it in the writing share channel of the Discord. Put it in both chats. But no pressure. You can also write along and not share it. No pressure to share it. You saw me write mine. I'll now read it to you. I think it's okay. I don't think I nailed any of these exercises today, but hey, that's why we practice, so we can get better, right? So as a reminder, this exercise, the intent was to, in 5 minutes, write a paragraph of prose that explains a moment from the randomly generated event in the second person POV. Second person's a tough one, but Impage, I think, gave us probably the best description of how to write second person POV. They said it's like being a DM and describing something to your players, right? You would say, oh, you know, the player enters a room and rolls a perception check, right? And based on the result of that, you tell them, you see this, you do this, etc., etc. I think that's the best description of second-person POV. You could also use the technical definition, which is like writing that uses the personal you pronoun. Anyway, I have very little experience with second person, but we achieved the exercise. I think it's okay, so I'll read it. I'll read it aloud. And if you have one that you want to share, go ahead and drop it in Discord. Impage, you said you were pulled away for most of those minutes. You're going to post yours for the next one. I think this is going to be our last one of the day, unfortunately, Impage. But sorry about that, man. That's unfortunate. If you want to post what you have, that's fine, but also no pressure. Woogie, welcome back in, buddy. Good to see you. Been a little while. Hope you're doing well. Impage, I'm so sorry, man. I would stay for another one, but I do have a lot of work to do today. Advon, you said I barely got to an actual event. It's hard, man. It is truly hard to do these exercises, but they make you a better writer. At least I think they do. But Advon, you can feel free to post what you got. Doesn't have to be finished. It's all good. I will read mine. Like I say, I don't always feel great about these either, but it's the act of practicing. You practice, so you get better. Woogie, things have been going well, man. Been going very good, actually. How about you, buddy? Dungeon Fungus. That's a funny name. Have you heard of a muscle wizard? I've heard of the joke of like barbarians that are actually wizards and all they just cast are fist. Is that what you're going for, or is there some other meaning here, Dungeon? Let me know. In the meantime, y'all, I'm gonna read what I wrote for this exercise, and a lot of folks just joined in. So as a quick recap, what we're doing, we have been rolling d12s, and then based on what number we get, we pull from my exercise library whatever creative writing exercise it tells us to do. So that one rolled a 7. And you would do this exercise, then you roll additional dice or do whatever it says for modifiers, and then you create your exercise. So the one I just wrote was in 5 minutes. Write a paragraph of prose that explains a moment from this event in the second person POV. So here we go. Blaze, you said you're about to work on your story. You're invested. All right, rock on, man. You're invested in it or in this stream? Maybe both. Spirit Wanders, you said I did the second person wrong, but I'll post it anyway. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's how we learn, right? Outside of today, who's ever written second person? Like, I really haven't. So that's why we practice, right? Do new things. Dungeon Fungus, you were talking about the barbarian casting fist. Or you know, fist meet face, etc., etc. Hey, it's the best kind of wizard in my opinion. I see you're a fellow martial prowess enjoyer. Welcome in, buddy. All right, let's read the exercise. I'll read what I wrote. You've never seen a wilderness like this. It's something more, wilder, perhaps, as if before today you thought you knew the definition of wilderness. Until now, until this moment when your eyes settle on that foreign shore. Trees so thick they might as well create a solid wall. You try to imagine finding your way through them, and can't. There is no discernible path, and the foliage is so dense, even the thought of trying to push through with brute force seems impossible. The ship docks, the gangplanks extended, and the crew depart. Then it's your turn, and you hesitate. Why? The question rings in your mind, but you already know the answer. You feel the answer. It's that wilderness, looming beyond this measly strip of civilization, stuck to the side of the vast unknown like a sandspur caught in the coat of some wild and dangerous predator. You hesitate because leaving the ship, because taking one more step means losing control, leaving the world you've known behind and stepping into something else, something new, and perhaps, as you now fear, not the good kind of new. So I'm okay with it. I'm alright with it. It's not my best writing, but look, it's an exercise. We do it live and we practice. I'm not mad about it. I'll take it. Saint Musashi, you said, I used to only write in second person, but now I usually do first. Interesting. Why did you write in second? Why was that the first thing you started with? Most people start with first or third. I'm fascinated why you started with second. Spirit, you said you loved mine. It makes you want to go into the wilderness. Well, thank you, Spirit. I think it's good. It's all right. I'm not sure I followed the prompt good enough, but I'll take the piece of writing we got out of it. I'm not mad about it. But now we had some folks share it in Discord. So thank you for writing along. Thank you for sharing it in Discord, and I will read those that you wanted me to read. So thank you very much. Let's read them. All right, we got 4 in here. A nice big one to end on. Thank you, everybody. Saint, you said you don't know why you started writing in second person. Interesting. Maybe it just called to you naturally. Nothing wrong with that. If that's the natural, the voice, your creative voice, rock with it. Second person is allowed. It's just not done too often. Doesn't mean you can't, though. Sloyd, you said that writing made you think you were arriving at the edge of the far wild. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. It was an easy world for me to slip into. All right. Spirit Wanders, I think, yes. You have the first one here. So Spirit Wanders, thank you for submitting. I will read your what you created for this exercise. 100 families have been chosen to build a new unified beginning on the island of Demona. You are fortunate enough to be among the selected. Along with this honor, you must commit to your assigned role of service. You have been assigned the role of single-parent undertaker. In this role, you and your offspring will together be responsible for processing the organic remains of citizens that do not prevail. Upon your arrival, you will be given robes and personal protective equipment, which you will don during all working hours. As a single-parent undertaker, you are required to reside in the underground caverns located beneath the arrival bridge. Your accommodation depends on the number of offspring you arrive with. Preference is given to those arriving with fewer offspring, as inexperienced members of Demona pose a burden to the fortitude of our society. Further instructions will be provided upon your arrival. Take your assignment with pride. Demona strong we stand. Okay, I see what you're doing there. Spirit, you had said you did second person wrong, but you're posting it anyway. I see how you misunderstood, but I totally understand why. You wrote it as if someone were speaking, almost like you're giving it an introduction, right? Someone is speaking it to you. It's not necessarily wrong. It still counts as second person. Typically, though, when you're writing a story with second person, it would be more in the head, in your own head almost, as if someone in your head is describing it to you. But still, I like the world you created there. That's interesting. It feels like a dystopian, maybe sci-fi type feel. I like Island of Demona as well. That's a fun name. Thank you for sharing, Spirit. I appreciate that. Next up, we have, so this is Sam. That's the Discord name. The chat name is Sam Shell, I believe. Sam, here is yours. You said this one was tough, but fun. It's entitled Your Colony and You. Oh, you said you also did it wrong. That's okay. Hey, look, we're learning. Y'all, like I said, the role for POV on this, I really should have made the second person result the nat 1, because it is absolutely the nat 1 answer. It's the hardest one to write here. First person, third person, narrator, POV, these are all easy to write in for the most part. Second person is challenging. So we all got a little experience with it today. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so this is Sam Shell's submission. Welcome to your new life in the grand new colony of Cloudport. Far from the reaches of land, we take our grand empire to the skies, and you are helping us pave the way. Once you leave the airship, you will be assigned a new role by your captain, based on the skill pamphlet you submitted prior to boarding. The vast wilderness of the Skyland will need to be tamed by your hands. If you accept the role of Cloud Carpenter, you will learn how to craft with the sky itself. With cutting-edge technology, you will build the foundations of Cloudport. If farming is more your style, then you will have the honor of learning how to cultivate in mana-rich sky soil. Then, of course, the engineering team is vital to our survival. You will literally keep us afloat. I love that last line, Sam. Rock on. That's a fun one. Also, I like the world you're creating here. This is fun. It reminds me of like a lit RPG that I saw recently that like takes place in the clouds, and had this whole like kind of cloud sky aesthetic to it. What an exciting world! I dig it, Sam. Thank you for submitting. You went the same route as Spirit Wanders did of it like being spoken to someone, which Hey, I like I said, I get why that would be the direction you'd go, and I probably explained it poorly because I also am bad at second person. But thank you for submitting that. I liked it. That was very fun. Millie, welcome back in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Oh, and Isabella Knight on YouTube. Isabel Knight on YouTube. Thanks for popping in. Good to see both of you guys. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday. Isabel, you liked that last idea? Rock on. I did too. It was a good one. We got 2 more here that folks submitted, so thank you very much for that, everybody. And let's read through them. This one is from Advon. Meet Your Doom. Welcome in, buddy. Happy Wednesday. Good to have you. You said if you could have any superpower, what would it be? My superpower would be to focus on what I'm doing in chat and not get, or what I'm doing in stream and not get distracted, because I'm very bad at that. That would be very useful in the streaming world. That or flying. Flying would just be fun. What about you, Meet Your Doom? But I was going to read, speaking of distracted, Advon's submission. Advon, thank you for playing along. Thanks for submitting this, and thanks for letting me read it on stream. Y'all, here is Advon's submission for this prompt. You thought things would eventually get better for you. A reasonable assumption given what the politicians were saying. The pamphlets proclaimed that the land would be easy to settle, and with the support of the government you would find a place to live well. Whether this evaluation was an error on their part, or gullibility on yours, it's unlikely you'll ever find out. The rain comes back every single day like clockwork, and the fields are flooding. There you go, Advon. I dig it. I dig it. That was second person done, you know, I don't want to say correctly, like that seems mean to people who did it wrong, but also it feels weird to say that because I didn't do it particularly great. No, I think you got the gist of it there, and I like the ominous last line, the fields are flooding. Y'all, I think these examples have been a good demonstration of how second person POV can be powerful. It's very direct to state what is happening to the reader. It kind of forces you to be in the moment and experience it. It's cool. I do like it. You know, not a lot of people write in second person, and I wasn't too fond of it before today, but you know what? You're kind of winning me over with your exercises. What y'all have written is it's getting my attention with second person. Maybe I'll have to think more kindly of it in the future. Isabel, you said you just released your book trailer on YouTube this Wednesday. Ah, very nice, Isabel. Exciting. What's the title so we can look it up? Drop it in chat. Millie, you said you have a cat that you nicknamed Mice Catcher. Do they catch a lot of mice? Are they living up to the name? All right, last submission here from Impage. Impage has got our last submission of the day. Well done, Impage, getting it in there. Let's read it. The cold metal around you, both alien and promising, sure to be your tomb if this push fails. Since the departure from the U.S., Florida had been on an expansion kick. Several years back, you had heard that a discovery was made, but it was impossible. A city lost to time, an entire civilization fallen into the sea, whereabouts unknown until now. The lost city of Atlantis, your next conquest as forced upon you by this expansion initiative. You're unsure if the inhabitants will be as resistant as they were in the past. Or perhaps, maybe, you bring something to the table that could change the course of history. There we go. I like it. That's a good second-person POV. I think you guys are doing a good job with these exercises. Which, first of all, applause for y'all. Thank you very much for submitting and playing along. For everybody who played along today. It's not easy to do. It's not an easy game. And it is truly work and it's practice. But we get better at writing because of it. So thank you for submitting. Thank you for playing along. I think you guys have done a good job of leaning into the tell, not show aspect of this, which is a little bit of an inversion of what people expect. They always say show, don't tell, but tell has its place too. And I think you guys did a good job with that. So thank you for playing along. Thank you for joining me in the Dice Decide today. It's been fun. It's one of the harder streams. You know, it requires a little more work, but I think it's valuable. So thanks for playing, y'all. Isabel, in answer to my question, you said the book is titled, where is it? Enchantria, The Last Hope. All right, y'all, look it up on YouTube. Give Isabel a little bit of love on that book trailer. They're pretty good ideas, right, Isabel? I agree. Folks really resonated with these. We got a really tough one. Um, we got a really tough exercise, but people powered through for it. Um, Before we go, everybody, as a reward for being in the dice stream and for participating on a challenging exercise, several challenging, we got to do a crazy roll, right? We have unlimited power with these dice. We need to get a little wacky with it. How many dice we throw in here, y'all? What do you think? Just push the simulation to its limits? I feel like this is the only way to end the dice stream is you got to go nuts with the dice. There's a casual, like, I don't know, 50 dice on screen. Impage says unlimited power. One of my friends built a PC recently, and they put a video screen on their CPU, and it plays GIFs, and they have that unlimited power GIF playing on there whenever the CPU kicks into overdrive. And honestly, best use of a video screen on a CPU if that's what you're going to have. All right, big dice roll to end the day. Big dice roll to end stream. Let's go for it. Rafi, I see a 6 in there. We got a 6 right here. Another one. Another one down there. Another one, 4. So out of what? 50 dice? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what is that, like 56 dice, I think, if my timetables hold up? Yeah, 56. Out of 56 dice, we only got 4 6s. I see why we're not rolling them, Rafi. Maybe the simulation doesn't like 6s. Impage, so we're doing prompt 297, right? Yep. Let's see. Prompt 297. Oh, darn it. It cuts out at 12. I only made 12 of them. Maybe one day we'll have 297. Isabel, you said, I totally agree with your opinion on tell, don't show, by the way. Well, thank you, Isabel. I'm glad that you feel the same. It's important. Oh, other name, you went and watched Isabel's trailer. Thank you for doing that. Let me make a note to make sure I do it after stream here. Let me get that title down. The Last Hope. Boom. All right, I'll go check that out after stream. Folks, Isabel, everybody, thank you for being here today. I hope you had a good day. Hope you had fun on the stream today. As always, a special thanks to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the use of his songs Farm, Manor, Cottages, and Northern Glade, which provided our background music today. As well, an extra special shout out to community member Rafi the engineer. Rafi's always pulling for that 6. Rafi, one of these days, man. One of these days. Maybe we start striking prompts off after we get them. And eventually it'll whittle down to a 6, right? We'll have to roll it. Maybe we have to do that so we can get that 6. Because it is wild. We've done this game 4 or 5 times now and never gotten the 6. Lucky 6. One of these days we'll get it. But until then, an extra special thanks to community member Rafi the engineer who made our 5th background song, Midnight at the Round Table. Rafi, it's incredible you made a song just for our stream. Thank you very much. Folks, thanks for joining me today. I know this game's a little bit tough. It's a little bit of creatively challenging, but thank you for playing along with me. And a big shout out to Isabel Knight on YouTube for joining, as well as Hero of Death and King Chuck 95, Zoomies and Joshua, everybody that tuned in on YouTube, as well as everybody on TikTok, including Rafi the engineer, Remagic, who has the prophetic ability to predict those dice rolls, Blaze Gaming 1414, Impage Studio, Spirit Wanders, Geogram, other name wasn't available, Sloyd, Advon, Sleepy, Miss Noel, Mama J, and Bearfang DK. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. We will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Time. For another stream. Thanks for joining, and just as a shout as we go, y'all, people ask, can they donate to my Patreon? Do I got a Ko-fi? I don't have any of that stuff, but what I do have are books on Amazon. Give them a look. If any of them stand out to you, pick one up. That'll support the stream, keep me doing this, and keep us here on every weekday at 7 a.m. Central Time, having a good old time. So, folks, thank you for being here. I had fun today. I hope you did too, and we will see you tomorrow for more creative fantasy writing, whatever it is. We'll figure it out. We'll do it together. We'll have a good time. I'll see you then, folks. Peace out.